Hey guys, welcome again to my video blog on trading. So we're looking today at Bitcoin, again an analysis of the daily and the 4-hour time frames. First of all, we're going to look at resistance lines. So the notable ones are the ones indicated on this chart. So the diagonal with a close over here, one, two, so two closes which touched on that line, and one, two, three, four highs which touch on this line. So this line has been not definitively broken since we don't have a close properly above it yet. If this candle closes above this line, that will be a bullish sign that we have potentially broken it. Although, as we know, we may come back down to test that line later, so it wouldn't be that mean that we would be mooning after that. But the other one, of course, which has formed just recently is this one with this one high, two highs, three highs over here. But the day hasn't finished yet. It's just an indication to show you, and also a way to show you that the trend is slightly changing with the different angles of these slopes. Okay, the steeper slope and then the less steep slope. And then in terms of and then of course we have these resistances over here, two candle highs. Breaking this, just looking at the daily chart, would show the next notable resistance to be all the way up there. So if you were to enter a long position on this break, first of all, the level is 3,810. So you'd probably get an average price of about 3,864. Let's just be conservative, because you're trading the breakout. You're never going to get the exact price. Then your target would be this level, but the problem is that your stop loss would have to be below the previous low, realistically, looking just on the daily. Whereas if you go to the 4-hour time frame, you could create a buy again around this level. Let's just move that to realistic 3,850. Okay, you target the same sort of level up here. And here you have a higher low. Now it's arguable exactly where it is. I mean, certainly this is a definitive higher low. This wouldn't be a very good risk to reward ratio, but I think it's very easy to argue that either this is also somewhat of a higher low because of the crazy high that we had on this candle, which was kind of not really, well, in any case. But really what the bulls are looking for is a higher low over here, which is already, these candles are forming somewhat of a double bottom, a tweezer bottom, tweezer double bottom. And if this can continue, that would be fairly bullish, because now we would have a third attempt for the bulls to break this level. And the more times we try it, the more the sellers lose their selling power, because they've already sold at this level at previous times. Okay, so, and also it's much easier to break out of a level like this if there's some market structure which develops before that level. So for example, here we came right back down because there was no market structure, no support at all. Then we did it again, and this time instead of coming all the way back down to this level, which is insane, we've found some sort of support over here. So this is starting to create the market structure, and ideally for the bulls, we would go top up again, fail to break out and come down again towards here. And that would create a much better risk to reward, because then, for example, if we come down to here after that and then we move up, not only do we have a higher probability trade because the level has been touched 3 times, and now attempting to touch it a 4th time gives a much better chance of a breakout, but we also have a better risk to reward ratio, which would be the previous low of the 4-hour uptrend. So it's interesting, and trading, you can trade every day, and you could say 20% of your trades make you 80% of your money, but I reckon that easily 5% will make 5% of your trades will make up, let's say, 60% of all the profits you make, because these types of trades, if they come, can be very cool. But anyway, it hasn't happened yet. For now, the risk to reward ratio is kind of like, this is just below what I would usually accept. to be honest. I usually go for 2.5 to 1, but that's for everyone's preference. But let's talk about the resistance lines, which I drew up here. So here on this resistance line, we have 1, 2, basically 3 touches, 3 highs. Here we have the closes, 1, 2, 3, 4 closes. Okay, so these are 2 notable resistance lines in the sense that they're together, they create this zone. And what I'm postulating is that if we break, if we have a close within this red box, it's actually really, yeah, there you go. Now you see, if we have a close within this red box, so for example, if today we close, the daily closes at 3,650, or it closes tomorrow at 3,630, that will be a bullish sign that we've broken this part of the resistance, and then of course, in addition, if we could get a close, sorry, that's right, not a close, but a high above this zone, either today or tomorrow, so the 3736, 3721, that would be a bullish sign that we've sort of made some headway, let's say, at the very least on this resistance. But if we have both, like a close above this, a close in this zone or higher, and a high above this zone or higher, so anywhere to the right of here would be notable. And then of course, if we can, in addition, the third variable is to get a high above this zone, so the horizontal resistance. So we can just write that in a text box so that it's clear. So if we want to predict a move up to 4,500, that's just not really not the best wording. A move up to 4,500 is most likely if we have a candle close. Let's say if we have a candle close in the red box or above, B, a high, so let's just say a candle high to make it clearer, a candle high above the thicker red resistance line, and C, a candle high or close above the horizontal red resistance line. Okay, so if you would have all 3 of those, that would be a pretty strong signal that we would be heading to the next significant resistance, which on the 4-hour is, well, it's, you know, that there's all these levels over here. You could say, oh, well, hey, we have a double high tweezer. Actually, is it tweezer bottom, tweezer tops, maybe? In any case, we have 2 little highs there and the candle close here. You could argue that this is somewhat of a region of potential resistance, but not a notable one. Then, of course, you can also say that there's the 4,000 level here, okay? So that would be another sort of zone to watch out for, this general between this box and there. But really what we're looking for, the next one, is here, because it's a much longer term resistance, okay? And of course, because this level is exactly the same one as you see here. So this is 4377, and this is, sorry, this is the higher one. It's interesting, on the 4-hour, this one, yeah, it seems much more significant, the 4-5. And of course, I have this drawn on the daily as well. This is the longer time frame one, indeed. So 4-5 is the real level that you're targeting, like, to be optimistic. But you know, if you're in a position here, and certainly if you're managing it, which you should be, at this breakout, you know, to be conservative, let's say you get a price sort of around here. You want to get it not too close to here because there's this tiny resistance, and also because it's just not going to give you the best risk to reward. So the level, you may get in some buys over here if you find a candle close above this and a candle high above this, and then you may get some more over here if there's a close above this or high above this zone. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that you end up getting an average price about this. You're not gonna, you may be gonna have like 30% of your position that you would sell up here, or maybe 50%, I'm not sure. But in any case, the targets would be, yeah, you'd probably take some up here as well, right? Let's say we try to take the whole position between here and there, meaning 50% in each, so that would be about here. And then the potential loss right now would be this. If we can move up, that would look pretty good. Yeah, otherwise on the 4 hour, of course we're seeing bully. We saw not bullish divergence here, but you can see a clear uptick on the MACD, okay, going up. Okay, we have a slow coming down here, but still compared to here, we've been moving up. The RSI is sort of very clean trend line up. That being said, we do have this sort of resistance zone here, or trend line, whatever you want to call it. I don't pay too much attention to it, but for example, I would say, you know, if we go above this red box, that's, you know, definitely a change in the trend of these lower highs, okay? Whereas now we have just a small indication of the change of the trend. I mean, we have a high, low, higher high, higher low, higher high. It's looking pretty good for the 4 hour RSI. But yeah, so I'm sorry, we don't have bullish divergence. That's not correct. There is tiny divergence over here, and that's actually what led to this big move up. So that's kind of interesting, and it's such a small one. But you know, we were so oversold anyway. So yeah. And on the daily, we have this divergence, which we were looking at last time, which after a bit further move down has led to a move up. And we were saying how, well, if within 14 bars of this previous low, well, low on the RSI and low over here as well, if within 14 bars we can get another lower low on price, but a higher high on RSI, that would be a very sort of bullish sign. And that would require either today or tomorrow to reach, actually to reach anywhere within this range, to be perfectly honest. Let's see. Here, here, and so anywhere, well, literally anywhere all the way down to here, because even this would be a high compared to that, right? So you have this first divergence where we say, hey, this is, you know, a higher high on the RSI, but a lower low on price, a small lower low, okay? And of course you can continue that there, make the argument again, and you can continue it here, make the argument again, and here again, and there again, and here will be again. So actually this is a continuance of the same divergence line, okay? But basically anywhere, you know, below here seems like it would be a decent place to enter if there is enough confluence with other factors, okay? But this divergence started the second that, or rather the day that this candle closed below it. And yeah, not that notable to be honest, but this is interesting. So we were going up, we had this small tick down, but now the last 4 days MACD's been ticking up, so it looks like it might be ready to move above this zone. You know, this getting to the middle point is usually a point of resistance or support, so an indication of moving away from it would be the indication of a potential another big move up. Okay, similar to how we had here. Okay, so we had came lower high, lower high, lower high, same, and then came down. And of course, we do have the bullish crossover and then the support, and now we're moving up, so it's a pretty bullish sign for the 4 hour. And oh, sorry, for the daily over here. And the 4 hour is of course also bullish, also has a bullish crossover. which is natural after having a high, low, higher, high, higher, low. Okay. Um, so yeah, that's what we're looking at. With that, I haven't yet thought about shorting it, but certainly try, because yeah, well, because there's quite a bit of momentum, and I usually prefer to do reversal trades, reversal of the trend, and yeah. But so yeah, let me know what you think, and if you're considering taking this breakout buy, and yeah, have a good one.